How you doing, guys? It's Mark from Cars and Cameras, and today I have a little unboxing for you of a camera that I'm very excited to take a look at and test out, and that is the Sony AX53. And this is a follow-up to the AX33, which had some issues, a few things, and I'm hoping that they've made some improvements with the AX53. And so here's a little unboxing, and I'm going to go ahead and try it out. So let's go ahead and take a look. We have our standard Sony documentation here. All right, so we have your a USB cord. We have your charger cord that's going to go into the power adapter. And looks like we have here your HDMI cable. And then of course you have your standard charger. Let's take that out. So looks like you got the battery, and it looks like they include the same one, the NP FV70. So here it is. Let's move that out of the way and take a look. And here we go. And there it is. Okay, so it's a little bit larger than the AX33. It looks like it's a little bit wider, maybe a little bit taller, but yeah, it's a little bit bigger. And then, of course, obviously this opens up. And then, of course, on this camera, everything is menu driven, off of here. So you have very few buttons here on this side, just a few buttons. So, here you have your SD card. And let's see, does this also, yeah, this does take the memory stick, which really very few people are using now. Well, especially if you're shooting 4K, you can't find, memory sticks that are fast enough. So it takes one single memory card there. And you have your night shot, playback. This also turns the camera on and off, but of course when you open it up, it turns it on when the battery is installed. You have the ability to manually focus the camera here. Multi-in, so that is your USB plug here. And then also it has a microphone input right there. Now, what a lot of people were saying on this camera is that there was no more headphone jack, but there is a headphone jack, and it's on the other side. It's right here. So there is a headphone jack. It's just located right down here. So here's your headphone jack on that side. You can see it. I get a lot of questions on, people ask me what this is, and this is a diopter adjustment. I believe it goes like +3 or -3 or somewhere around there. This is like a hard plastic. There's no rubber or anything on this. So, if you do wear glasses and they're not too strong, and go ahead and take them off and use this finder. But from my experience, we'll see what the quality of this viewfinder is like, but usually the quality of these viewfinders are not real good. It's just basically, you're not going to be able to really judge a lot of exposure and other things off that finder. It's better to use the flip-out finder if you can. And there's another look at the flip-out finder there. And that's about it. You got your start-stop switch. Here's where your that's where your power in will go to charge the camera. And very similar to the AX33. It's just in the hand, it feels a little larger. So I put my hand on it there. So yeah, it does feel a little bit larger. Get your power zoom here, and if you just barely move this, you can do real slow. Like if you want to zoom in really slowly, if you just barely touch this, just kind of barely bring it, you'll get like a really slow creep, zoom. A lot of people don't talk about that, but there's usually quite a bit of control on this, and I'm assuming that it's pretty similar to the AX33. And as you can see, the microphone up on top. Oh, one other thing, let's take a look at the intelligent shoe. So there's the intelligent shoe on there. I know a lot of people call it a cold shoe, but no, this is an intelligent shoe. There's all kinds of accessories that you can attach to this. So, from external microphones that basically power and run right off of that accessory port. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and charge this up and look at some samples. Okay, so here's some test shots of the Sony AX53, and shot at 1/48 of a second, 24p 4K at 100 megabits per second with outdoor white balance. And they look really good. I mean, the shots of the Mini Cooper that we just looked at, those are really clean. It does a good job. I don't really see too much aliasing at all in the image. And you know, the shot of the guitar, it looks really clean. The guitar strings, it looks really good in 4K. You know, I got to say, I'm impressed with this camera. You know, I won't go into all the technical details, but some of the changes they made is, you know, this is a full 16:9 sensor. And obviously it is a new sensor, but you know, every generation of these cameras, it gets better and better. But I mean, look at this quality. I mean, I am blown away by the smaller sensor. And you know, the only drawback that I can see is, you know, it's kind of hard to get with a small sensor that shallow depth of field, but it looks good. I mean, you know, look at these shots of the grill. I mean, everything is really clean. If you're looking at this in 4K, I mean, it's perfect. I mean, it looks really, really good. And, you know, I'm also impressed with the dynamic range. What an improvement from the previous generation camera and also the AX100. I mean, this is quite a bit better. And this is the standard picture profile, which is just how the camera comes. There is a cinematone mode that's supposed to give you a little more dynamic range. But I mean, look at that, the rose there. I mean, it looks really good. And coming up is another shot of the Mini Cooper's grill. And it looks really good. So I'll be having more tests, you can see. But there you go, guys. There's my quick kind of test, review, and overview and samples of the Sony AX53.